Hello, friends. Good morning once again. In the previous talk, I was talking about a brief introduction to the uh, dramaturgy of Wole Soyinka, the Nigerian playwright. Today, I shall be talking about The Road, that is a play prescribed for you. But before the play, a little bit of extra background is needed, and that background is related to the title of the play, The Road. Road. If I ask you a simple question, if you have to answer the symbolical meaning of the road, what will be your answer? I'm quite sure that you all shall be agreeing to the symbolical association of the road as a path to a destination. And most hopefully, that destination would be of prosperity, of development, of protection, of safety. Yes, you are very much right. Because primarily, as Soyinka himself writes, that he has had several encounters with accidents while on the road. And out of seeing those accidents, he could think of writing a play, The Road itself. The road and its symbolical associations are important in another perspective as well. And the perspective is the perspective of freedom. Nigeria has been a colony to England, and it got its freedom from Britain in 1960s. Why were Nigerians looking for freedom? To make their country free, to make themselves free. And the idea of freedom must have been with the idea of development, prosperity, success, peace, calm, security, safety. But did these happen? The answer is no. Because in most cases, whenever there is a case of a colonized country, and whenever the colonizers leave that particular country, this is not the transfer of freedom, but this is the transfer of authority, of power. And you see, power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. So Nigeria, which must have been on the road of success and prosperity, became the victim of civil war, corruption, deaths, murders, burglaries, thugs. And this is what Soyinka could perceive through his own eyes. Though he was raised in England, he has been the part of Oxford and Cambridge, yet his motherland was asking him to come back. He comes back, and what does he witness after Nigeria's freedom? Unwelcomable, non-acceptable. So, the symbolical meaning of the road is simple. Whenever we go on the road, do we expect too much barriers, too much hurdles? No, we all in the smooth road. And the smooth road is the symbol of smooth life. But what will happen if the road contains barriers, unnecessary hurdles, pitfalls, several fissures on the road, and instead of reaching to one's destination, before the destination, the traveler has to undergo a kind of accident or any kind of accident. So accidents, just let us talk about those accidents first. How do these accidents happen? Out of bad quality of the road. They also might happen because of the inexpertise of the drivers in terms of their lack of experience in driving skill. Yes, the same happens in the road. The road is all about road and the associated components. The road is about lorry truck drivers and touts. It's about Kotanu, Samson, Salubi. Kotanu is a driver. Samson and Salubi are touts, aspiring drivers. But to be a driver, certified driver, one needs to have a driving license. Would they get it through for fairways? The answer is no. They will have it fake. They will have it forged because of the corruption. So procuring forged fake driving licenses and then becoming a driver on the road will certainly prove detrimental to the health of not only the road but the country as well, that is Nigeria. The road has the protagonist, Professor. His name is Professor. Professor is a Christian. He is Nigerian though, but he has been a Christian and he has worked for a sufficient amount of time in church where he was with musicians, where he used to read psalms, recite sermons. But he was thrown out of the church because he pilfered money from the church fund. He puts on a Victorian hat, and he is, in all the ways possible, a gentleman as far as outward appearance is concerned. He is the only one who can boast of speaking good English. Other characters in the play are just not so adept in English speaking system. They are using the pidgin form of thing in that way. So, Professor is a very enigmatic character. He puts on, as I said, a Victorian hat. And Professor has worked in the church. Let's try to relate this church aspect when I was talking about the church aspect in terms of Soyinka. He knows Christ, Professor. He knows Antichrist figures. He knows the mysteries. He knows the abstractions. At least we can assume so. He is looking after something. And something is word, W-O-R-D. A mysterious term, a mysterious thing which he tries to find in graveyard, which he tries to find in newspapers. And he has named the word differently. He names the word as a companion to death, not to life. a terrible fire, an elusive kernel, or even a golden nugget on the tongue. Word. I shall come to this word aspect little later in little greater details. So, professor runs a shop, and the shop's name is the Accident Store. AKSIDENT, Accident Store, STORE. And the subtitle of the shop is All Part Available. I'm saying available not as available, but available as it is written in the shop. This is the subtitle. What does he sell there? Professor sells accessories of lorries, trucks. And the most important thing is, how does he manage to have those accessory parts? To accumulate the accessories of the trucks or the lorries, he causes accidents. He makes accidents happen. And how does he do it? By sending the bend sign, by bending the send signs. You might have seen some warning signs on the road. Let us say in Hindi, कृपया धीरे चलिए, आगे खतरनाक मोड़ है. What will happen if I go to that sign and just bend it and you don't see what's written there and you go with the full force and there is a brum sound and there is an accident? So professor is one who causes accidents, who makes accident happen. No. And when accidents happen, he goes to the site of the accident. He goes to dying drivers and touts. He goes closer to them and he listens to what they say as the dying words. Look at the kind of character professor is. It's quite possible that he might not understand what are they saying. He disrobes them, puts off their clothes. He just collects all the items of the truck or lorry, from chassis to tire to tube to windmills to other things, and collects them, takes them all to the accident store and sells them. Look at this professor. He is expert in providing forged, fake driving licenses. That's why he becomes a kind of demigod to those drivers, to those touts. Nigeria is a corrupt country. Policemen are corrupt, politicians are corrupt, intellectuals are corrupt, drivers are corrupt, touts are corrupt, everybody is corrupt. And the road takes heavily on this corruption aspect. So he not only provides forged, fake driving licenses, which in turn might involve several road accidents, causing killings, murders, and deaths. He also gets involved in illegal liquor business. So look at his being. He is a proprietor of the shop, the accident store. In the evening, drivers and touts, they all come to him seeking blessings in terms of obtaining fake driving licenses and liquor. And they go on the road as if they have got the license to kill people, and they do it. Professor. A very enigmatic figure, very enigmatic character. He's looking after word, I told you. Nigeria, which has been a colony of England, totally devastated, destructed. It will take a lot of time for Nigeria to come on its own feet. And will Nigeria come on its own feet on its own? Who will help Nigeria to grow up? Naturally, the citizens of Nigeria. But what about citizens of Nigeria? What are they acting? How are they acting? How is Professor acting? He is a kind of intellectual of Nigeria. Should he involve in issuing fake forced driving licenses? Should he involve himself in illegal liquor smuggling? And moreover, should he cause accidents to happen? Should he kill people? And most importantly, should he run after something which is abstract, mysterious thing, which has nothing to do with the day-to-day realities of Nigerian life system? Does Nigeria need word? Does Nigeria need something which is companion to death, not to life? Does Nigeria need a terrible fire? The answer is no. And what about other characters, apart from Professor Samson Salubi and Cotonou? We have, say, Tokyo Kid, a corrupt representative. Joy Particulars, Sergeant Burma. Look at all these characters, politician to policeman. They all are corrupt. And Wole Soyinka is simply trying to emphasize how corruption has become the integral part of Nigeria. How corruption has become the Yuga Dharma. And how Professor is behaving like Ogun, a distorted figure, a fragmented figure,